Thanks. Ciancala, first of all, I want to commend Deputy Bailey on this bill. It's quite a modest bill, and it's in line with the BDS campaign across the world to kind of condemn apartheid Israel. And Minister, you have a chance, and your ministers, to send a message to not only apartheid Israel, but the world. Can you imagine the message going out that an Irish government has finally taken a stance in relation to a modest bill like this? There is an economic consequence to apartheid. And if you look at last week, how distorted and racist Israel is. Israel bombed a house in the Gaza Strip last week. It killed 8 children. And do you know what the IDF commander said afterwards? He says, when the journalist asked him, can Israel take responsibility for murdering 8 children? He looked up and says, we'll look into it. We'll look into it after murdering 8 children. What sort of barbarians are these people? What sort of savages are we talking about? They kill 8 children, and he shrugs his shoulders and says, we'll look into it. Now, Minister, Israel is not a normal state. It's not a normal state. But your government and successive governments and governments across the European Union keep treating it like a normal state. And we can do something. Some of us feel powerless here, but we can do something, such as the Occupied Territories Bill, Senator Francis Black, and this bill to send a message out to Israel that there is a consequence in relation to occupation. And by not challenging that, Minister, by not challenging apartheid, you're complicit in that apartheid. There's been 75 years of occupation. There's been 5 years of brutality. There's been 75 years of silence. But more importantly, there's been 75 years of resistance by the Palestinian people against occupation. And there's been 75 years of international solidarity that sees the oppressed people of Palestine being constantly oppressed by a racist regime. So there has to be an economical, political and diplomatic consequence to Israel. Because, Minister, they will constantly get away with it. Constantly. Constantly. And the murder of 8 children last week was just one aspect to the murderous regime of Israel. They will constantly get away with it as long as your government do not say to the Israeli ambassador, get the hell out of here, we don't want you, for murdering children on a constant basis. So if there's no consequence, a murderous regime like Israel will constantly do it until people stand up. The Palestinian people constantly stand up to them. Now it's up to Ireland, the Irish government, the Irish people to say, look, we have had enough of apartheid in Israel. We need to stand up as a country. And this way, supporting this bill is one way of actually sending that message out.
Thank